Hey guys, this is SC Slayerage, and I'm here to tell you how they're going to destroy my favorite weapon in the game, which I am mad about. We're going to look at the perks on Black Hammer and analyze why White Nail is the saving grace of Black Hammer. First of all, it's got Ambush, Taxes, and Hawkeye scopes, none of which, in my opinion, have a very good zoom to aim assist ratio, and I know that's just preference, but at the end of the day, I don't think that they're very optimal scopes. Then there's Perfect Balance, which if we're assuming you can aim a sniper, doesn't really matter. Flared Magwell, which if you use White Nail doesn't really matter. Mulligan, which never matters under any circumstances. And then there's Snapshot, which I just choose to ignore because I have freaking Quick Draw on my Blade Dancer and it never really matters. And then there's White Nail, which is the saving grace of Black Hammer. It is the singular thing that makes Black Hammer worth using because you get infinite ammo with it, which is the one thing that puts it a step above the other PvE snipers. Damage is not a factor here. If you have another high impact, low rate of fire sniper, like Efrideet, which you can reroll, then you can get the same damage as Black Hammer per shot. So in that case, the only thing that makes one have better DPS than the other is the continued or sustained fire of it. So, which one's going to be able to sustain fire better? Let's take a quick look and figure that out. If I have a Black Hammer, which this one only has 15 bullets, they're planning to buff that to 18, which means that I should get a little bit more ammo per sniper ammo pickup, but if I only get, right now, 4 bullets, as shown on screen, if I assume that the proportions are going to be the same, for the magazine size increase to the pickup ammo increase, I'll only get 5 bullets, and 5 bullets just isn't enough when it's competing with other guns that can roll surplus onto them. I'm going to demonstrate what I can do with an Efrideet spear right here that has surplus and Field Scout. I know Field Scout can't be rolled anymore, but the principle's the same. I pick up 1 and get 14 bullets. That's almost 3 times as much as 5, which is the new expected ammo pickup. But assuming that you can't get Field Scout on other guns because it's not going to be available anymore, you still get 18 bullets on Efrideet Spear. That's including Casket Mag. Don't get Casket Mag, it's just a bad thing. It's not worth it at all. You need to get Surplus, because Surplus will let you fill out your magazine in 2 pickups instead of 4. So you're literally twice as efficient per ammo pickup if you're using Efrideet Spear instead of Black Hammer. But wait, maybe the reload speed is worth it. But no, I assure you it's not. Oh dang, I blinked and missed that reload. Yeah, you can reload that fast with Outlaw, which you can roll with Surplus. So why would you do that? You can also use Special Reload Gloves. Look how fast this is. Bam, I don't even need a bonus for that. And then I can get Outlaw and the Reload Gloves and reload super fast. My goodness. It's so fast. Why would I need White Nail to make up for that? It already reloads super quickly. And if you don't like the idea of having to get a headshot on an enemy as a finisher to do that, then just reroll Flared Magwell onto it. Also, side note, as a benefit of Surplus right now, if you have it rerolled on a sniper rifle, or any secondary weapon for that matter, you still get double heavy drops. 7 rockets from 2 pickups is insane. It is so useful. It allows you to basically just have heavy ammo all the time, especially if you run a Titan with Ruin Wings. You get full ammo per drop, and that's just a huge benefit. Look at this, her Benevolence. It has slightly less damage than Efrideet Spear or Black Hammer would, and it's a lot more accessible for players right now. But it's just as good because it'll have surplus and only slightly less damage. That, and the fact that it has a higher rate of fire, means that it makes up for it, so you really might as well do it with any other sniper. But, you know, Black Hammer definitely needs a nerf, because look how hard it is to get a freaking triple headshot on an enemy like this. The whole reason that Black Hammer is overpowered is because there's a lot of enemies that are just brainless mechanically. Like, if I'm fighting against the Nexus and it's got an eyeball that it just points towards me all the time, of course I'm going to get critical hits against it. Why isn't there a boss that fires from one side and is weak on the other? How crazy of a thought is that? That's used in like every video game I've played in my life. It's such an obvious idea that the boss's weak point is not also the thing it fires at you from. But Servitors are exactly that. So Servitors are going to be super easy to hit. Servitor bosses are going to be super easy to hit because they have a much bigger weak point. Regular Servitors really aren't that easy because they move kind of unpredictably and they fire at you fairly well. And they stray behind things sometimes too. Servitors are a relatively tough enemy because they levitate. But things like spider tanks that are immobile as can possibly be, this is where Black Hammer shines. This is what people have Black Hammer out for, and it's fun. It's mechanically rewarding when you're using this gun and you get infinite ammo because you're aiming like a freaking monster. If you're playing with a sniper rifle that has low aim assist and bad scopes and you're getting every critical shot, is it really so crazy for there to be one gun that really actually just makes that rewarding for you and gives you full ammo all the time if you can actually keep pulling it off forever? I think that really the point to be made here is it doesn't have unlimited ammo if you miss. So why not make it to where you get punished more if you miss, where it has a smaller magazine if it needs to be legendary? Or give it a smaller magazine and make it an exotic to where you actually have to choose to use it over Gjallarhorn, because essentially right now, it is an exotic weapon. It is really, really, really good, and it really should be an exotic, and no Land Beyond should be legendary because you're holding yourself back with it. I don't understand why exotic is currently set as the weapon class that is designed to be unique instead of powerful, but that's neither here nor there. Check out how I'm melting this boss right here. I don't know if I miss a single shot over the course of this fight on this boss. And this is something that we're going to never see again if Black Hammer is reduced to having only 18 bullets in total. Because if they did that, it will be basically the exact same as Efrideet's spear is currently without perfect rolls. Because they both have 3 bullets in the magazine, 18 in total, including reserve. They have the same impact, they have the same rate of fire, they have the same attack cap of 365. They'll basically be the exact same weapon, except Black Hammer has crappy scopes, as I said before. It's stuck with Mulligan, as I said before. The mid-tree perks are not good, as I said before. And it's got White Nail, which is basically super buffed reload speed that doesn't matter when you consider that you could get Flared Magwell, or Outlaw, or just use special reload gauntlets. Considering the fire rate is so low to begin with, having time to reload isn't even part of the question. Reload doesn't matter, so the thing that makes Black Hammer good is its infinite ammo. That is the only thing that makes it good. Change it to an exotic weapon if you need to, but as soon as you take away infinite ammo, it stops being a meaningful gun to use, and nobody will want to use it anymore, and it won't be sought after because it's just not going to be good. It's going to have to compete with guns that have surplus and get 3 times as much ammo. It's going to have to compete with guns that have like final round and can get much more ammo in a single precision shot. And it's going to have to compete against guns with things like Flared Magwell and triple tap on them. And it's just not going to stack up because all of the guns that have lower impact, which I realize Efrideet is the only gun that has the same impact as Black Hammer, all of the guns that have lower impact have higher rate of fire to compensate. So it doesn't matter that they have lower impact because they can get similar DPS by firing faster. It's just not going to be worth using Black Hammer if it doesn't have White Nail anymore, and I really think that if they're going to have to change something, they should just drop the magazine in total, or not the magazine, the reserve, drop the reserve ammo in total from 15, and instead of making it 18, make it something closer to 8, to where if you miss, it's really a big deal, and making it an exotic weapon so that if you want to use it, you can't just use Gjallarhorn too. Then people will actually make decisions. They've really screwed up in making the trifecta of Fatebringer, Black Hammer, and Gjallarhorn, where 2 of them are legendaries, because really, if they were all exotic weapons, then I would have to make some PvE choices, but they just made 2 raid weapons that are just so powerful they're the only weapons worth considering. Moral of the story, if they break a Black Hammer like that, you really might as well use some other sniper, pretty much any other sniper. We're going to move on to the second weapon that I have a huge gripe with the changes to. That's going to be Icebreaker. I'm using a completely unupgraded freaking scout rifle that I got in the Calyx Reborn fight I was just showing you, and I just got about 7,300 damage in the course of 8 seconds, which is the new planned time for Icebreaker. I get 3,366 with 1 shot of Icebreaker, so I'm getting half the DPS of a completely unleveled 331 damage scout rifle. Firing once every 8 seconds isn't enough. It's going to be a terrible gun if they change it, and I don't feel like I need to say more. They really don't need to nerf it because it's already not that good, and it's just going to slow down the play and make it really not worth using it as an exotic. If they have to do that, they should really buff the magazine to about 12 so that you get a benefit from playing without it for a little while. Finally, we're going to move on to the last gun that I want to talk about in specific, which is Gjallarhorn. Notice how I used a Void rocket launcher right here that is 365. It is an Ash factory that has Void damage. It's got high blast radius, high rate of velocity. It's good. It's a really good rocket launcher. And it did all of the Praetorian's shield and about 1/3 of his health in 1 shot, which really, not very much. Like, look at his health right here. He's actually doing pretty well considering he just got blasted with a rocket. Anyway, people are complaining about the Gjallarhorn nerf, saying that it's totally unneeded for whatever reason because Gjallarhorn's supposed to be OP. And the fact of the matter is that Gjallarhorn is actually legitimately overpowered, which means that it does need to be rebalanced. A single Gjallarhorn rocket with solar damage will overkill a Praetorian, and I'm about to show you that in just a second, so if you don't believe me, you're going to see it, and you just saw a single Void rocket of something that didn't have Wolfpack rounds. Wolfpack rounds are overpowered. They need a nerf, and I don't think the Gjallarhorn's going to start being useless because of it, but it's good that they're making this change, and I totally support it. So, in summary, I would like to point out that Black Hammer, they're destroying it. I hate that. I really wish they would not break Black Hammer. It's my favorite gun in the game, and I don't want to see it die. I think if they need to change it, it needs to be an exotic with lower ammo reserve. If they need to change Icebreaker to where it has an 8-second cooldown, then they need to buff its reserve ammo because only having 6 bullets and getting them in over the course of 48 seconds is just dismal, and it's not worth using at that point, and it's already dubious to begin with, except for people who are new to the game. I do think that I should point out at the very end of this that overall, Bungie's changes to every other weapon are awesome. I like what they did with auto rifles, pulse rifles, scout rifles, hand cannons, shotguns, sniper rifles. Fusion rifles need a nerf if they're going to be competing against really weak shotguns. Fusion rifle is probably a good change. Removing the proximity's strength to some degree on rocket launchers is a good thing. Overall, I think their weapon balancing is going to be awesome, and I think that when the Taken King comes out, we have something huge to look forward to. But the two changes with Icebreaker and Black Hammer need to be done differently. Bungie, you need to do that differently. Seriously. Thanks for watching, everyone. That's it. Slayer out.